Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening everybody. Welcome to another video. And in today's video, I will be showing you guys how you can start pest farming for money. This has been one of the best money making methods that I've been using, and it has made me over 700 million. So in today's video, I will be explaining how to pest farm in the most simple, non-complicated way that I can. And I will not be getting into all the little nuances of pest farming. So with that in mind, if you guys want an in-depth guide, there's a lot of videos out there that have explained this very well and very detailed. But for this video, I will be doing the explanation as simple as I can. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so if you want to start pest farming for money, one of the things that I would suggest is for you to get farming 40 or above, preferably 50. This is because you will unlock the best armor sets for farming, which is Fermento Armor for level 40 and Helianthus for level 50. These will help you a lot, okay? Farming fortune matters. It's just like mining and foraging, the fortune matters a lot. But in farming, you're gonna have to min-max this because it's not, there's barely any open sources for farming fortune. There's a lot of little things that you can do to max the farming fortune, but armor is one of the main ones. So, with Fermento, it is a good base. You can put all the necessary reforges and the gemstones and the Pest Terminator enchants, but it won't make as much money as you are in Helianthus. This might be, an expensive upgrade, but it is really necessary if you want to make around, I guess, 60 million and above per hour during Finnegan. And without Finnegan, I am currently making around 35 to 40 million an hour, and it is still really good. Okay, so for the armor, you're gonna have to unlock all the gemstone slots. If you cannot afford perfect yet, I would suggest you do flawless, and it is still really good. But once you have the money, I would suggest you go for perfect. Anyways, the reforge, I would suggest Mossy if you only have one armor set, but if you have two, I've seen people do 3/4 Mossy with a Mantid on the boots, and then once they're about to spawn the pest, they do like a full Mantid, but that is really complicated and I will not get into it, so we're just gonna stick with the all Mossy reforge. Moving on to equipment. The equipment we're gonna be using is the Pest Hunter equipment, which are these three, with Pest Vest. Basically, these equipment will reduce the spawn cooldown of pest, and it will also give, some bonus pest chance. And if you're going to be pest hunting, you're going to be using David's Cloak when you're about to kill the pest, and you're going to be using the Black Hole. Moving on, we have the tools. We're going to be using any tools that you want, whatever you're farming. For me personally, I have this almost maxed out melon dicer. So I basically use this when I'm pest farming. I pest farm melon. Ideally, you want to do it on wheat because it is just easier and it is only like 2 plot, maybe 1 plot if you know how to build it. And the next one, we're going to be using any type of fishing rod, a normal rod or basically any lava rod, whatever. Just any fishing rod that you can throw. The next is the vacuum. You're going to want to have BD on it, 2 gemstones for the farming fortune. And you're not gonna want to put, I guess it was a book that increases the damage. It was Bookworm's favorite book, I believe. That is because you can still one-shot if you want to pest farm normally with a shard. I will tell you that later, but for now, just keep this in mind. You're gonna want gemstone and BD reforge. Also, you want the ability that lets you play vinyls, I believe. Yeah, that is really necessary. The next item we're going to be using is Aspect of the Void or Aspect of the End. This is an essential tool if you have like a roof over your pest farm, especially with the Ether transmission, because you're going to be teleporting from below a block. The next item is the Sprayonator. This is only used when you're about to pest farm. This is like a preparation item. And then we're going to use Pocket Black Hole, like I said, if you want to pest hunt, but if you're not pest hunting and you're just killing the pest in one shot, you don't need these. This is just for pest hunting, which makes a little extra money. Moving on, we have this squeaky mouse mat, and this is basically for the angles. If you can do it yourself, like for example, like if you do wheat, you only need like 90 degrees and it's not that hard. It's not as it's not as unforgiving as melon is. But for melon, I will need a precise angle, so I'm going to be using this. One of the things that are necessary when you're basically pest farming or just normal farming is the speed. You're going to want to set your speed, and back then, people are using rancher's boots. But since the Garden Feed 2 update, just get a sundial, man. It is very cheap. And if I go to the Gardens desk right now, I have my sundial. I can change my speed of specific crops. Like for example, I have 296 on melon, 93 on wheat. And basically how it works is when you start breaking the crops, the speed will automatically set to that. So no need to use rancher's boots because it reduces your farming fortune and all of that. But yeah, that's something that you really need to buy, that is essential for normal farming and pest farming. For the pets that you're going to be using, it will be broken down into 3 categories, which are basically the 3 phases of pest farming. The phases are the farming phase, and then the spawning phase, then the killing phase, and then it repeats. For farming phase, the pets that you're going to be using are the pets that will give you the most farming fortune. The best for it is the Rose Dragon, but the Rose Dragon will require like 500 million coins and quite some time in the progression. So if you don't have it yet, I would highly recommend getting the Mushroom Cow. This is cheap, it's only 5 million, and basically you can level it up while farming, and it also gives a good base farming fortune. Also, another thing I want to mention is for the farming phase pets, you're going to want a green bandana on the health item, as it will give 4 farming fortune per each of your garden level. Anyways, moving on, let's move to the spawning phase. For the spawning phase, you're going to be wanting a pet that will give the most bonus pest chance. Right now, the best pet for the spawning phase is the mosquito pet. You can get common and it will be just as good as the other tiers, the only difference being the perk, which is I guess 50% more effective on higher tiers, but it will not be used as much, so getting a level 1 common mosquito and leveling it up will be pretty cheap. Your second option, if you don't have the mosquito yet, and the cheaper one, is the slug pet. The slug pet will give you quite a lot of bonus pest chance, which is around 37. But this is still, it's not as much as you can get from mosquito, but it is cheaper. It's around 5 million flat. So getting it level 1 and getting it leveled up is also not that bad. For the spawning phase pets, the health item that you're going to be using is the brown bandana. I don't think I need to explain this much because it will just give more bonus pest chance and it will be needed for spawning pests. For the killing phase, there is one pet that reigns supreme, and that is the hedgehog pet. So for killing pests, the drops will be affected by farming fortune. So having the hedgehog pet will be really useful as it gives 100 farming fortune on pest, and it will grant 0.7 farming fortune per pest bestiary tier. It also deals 100% more damage to pest if you want to one-shot it, but it will not be enough without the shard that I will be talking about soon. Also, the health item will be green bandana. I don't think I need to explain it much, it will just give farming fortune. And yeah, I think that's all it for the pets. For the shards, these are your essentials. The first one is the Pest Luck from Pest Shards. This will give you an additional plus 20% chance to obtain rare loot from Pest. The next is the Insect Power from Praying Mantis Shard. You don't need this if you are pest hunting. But if you're pest farming, you're gonna want this enabled as it will deal plus 100% extra damage from your vacuum, enabling you to one-shot pests. The next is Infiltration. This is from Termite Shard and it will grant you plus 30 farming fortune if your garden plot currently has a pest in it. I don't think this is that necessary, but I still use it as I sometimes zone out, and when the pest spawns I still farm. But I don't think this will activate that much, so if you're thinking this is too expensive, I don't think you should get it first. Still, the most important one is the Pest Luck. The next we're going to be getting is the Crop Bug. This will increase the odds of finding Crappie, Squash Fermento, or Heal Yantus by 20%. You get this from Crop Beetle Shard, And this is one of the most important ones, as if you are farming, for example, sunflower or moonflower, it will increases your chance to drop a Helianthus, which will increases your money per hour by like 1 million per Helianthus. Moving on, we have solar power. This is simple enough, it grants plus 50 farming fortune during the day, and it is from Firefly Shard. There is a counterpart to this, which is the Lunar Moth, which is basically the same, except it gives farming fortune during the night, and it is used primarily for moonflower farming. So with that in mind, I suggest you get both if you're basically farming everything, but if you don't farm moonflower that much, you can just ignore this. Moving on, we are going to be discussing one of the most important upgrades in farming: chips. The way you find the chips menu is to open your Skyblock menu, and then you go to manage chips. And here you can see all of the chips. But right now, we are going to be wanting to prioritize Vermin Vaporizer, Hypercharge, and Crop Shot. These are the main 3 that you will need for pest farming, as it will give more farming fortune and more bonus pest chance. The way you upgrade these chips is by using a currency called Sawdust. Sawdust you can get by normally farming, you will figure that out soon enough. And the way you get chips is either to kill pests or farm. Some I think are from contest, but I won't be getting into that, as you can just buy them from Bazaar if you're not Iron Man. These can get a bit expensive, but they are really needed, so I suggest you prioritize them. Anyways, the second chips that you're going to be maxing is the Rare Finder. After you max all basically the most important 3, you max this one. And then after that, everything else is based on your needs. If you want to do greenhouse, you can do all the greenhouse chips. If you want to more farming wisdom, you can do this. And everything else, it's basically up to your needs. But I suggest you go for Mecha Mind, as it will give plus 15% more farming tool experience, and it will help you drop more the farming EXP capsule. But that is not for me to discuss. Okay, so with all of that out of the way, I can finally show you the rundown of pest farming. But before we get into it, if you don't have Autopets yet, like this, I suggest you get them. One pack is around, I believe, 12 million, and you need to get 2, so you can unlock 3 slots, and you can use this for pest farming. These are the pet rules. I'm not sure how it really works, but you can just copy mine. You can pause at any time. So these are basically the 3 that you're gonna need, but if you use Slug Pet, you can substitute the Mosquito for Slug. And if you're using something else other than Mushroom Cow, like a Rose Dragon, you can substitute that also. Something else that you can do before you start pest farming is to set up a macro. I'm not talking about a macro where you basically use a bot or like an auto clicker. No, I'm talking about a macro for setting spawn and then TPing back to your spawn. I use Firmament for this. I can do /Firmament macros. And as you can see, I have set spawn on my right arrow. I basically do /set spawn. And I have Warp Garden, which will TP me to the set spawn that I just made with left arrow. This is basically the 2 that you need, as you won't be needing anything else. But if you want to like TP to like a certain plot, I think you can make that, but I'm not using that since I have Skyblocker. I can just do this and I TP to these plots. But yeah. Anyways, for Server Tashi here, so we are going to be starting the demonstration. And what you need to prepare before pest farming is your sprayonator and the materials that you're going to be spraying the plot with. The materials will determine on which pest will spawn the most. And basically, the best for money right now is Plant Matter, because it will spawn Slug Pest, and Slug Pest will drop its pet variants, which are the Epic Slug Pet and the Legendary Slug Pet. The Epic will sell for 500k, and the Legendary will sell for 5 mil, all both sold to George. As you can see on the screen right now, I am spraying the plot that I'm going to be pest farming on with Plant Matter. It will increase my bonus pest chance and Slug Pest will spawn more often. Next thing you're gonna do is go to Philip like this, and you get the buff. The farming fortune buff is really necessary because it will buff your farming fortune by around 200 to 400. Now you can start farming. I farm with my mosquito pet on because the cooldown says that it's ready. You can check from the tab on the pest area. But basically, on your mosquito pet spawning phase, you can just wait till the pest spawns. And when the pest spawns, you set your spawn, switch to hedgehog, and then you TP up and kill the pest. Basically, after you kill the pest, you can slash warp garden or use your macro to go back, and then you switch to your mushroom cow and just start farming. And if you open your tab, you will see that the cooldown is now on its timer. This is the most chill part because you are just farming while you are waiting for the cooldown to be ready. And as the cooldown is nearing its end, we will switch to our mosquito pet. I usually do it at around 5 to 4 seconds left. As you can see, I switched, and now all we gotta do is wait for the pest to spawn. And now the pest has spawned, and I basically set my spawn, switch my hedgehog, and kill the pest. The cycle repeats. And that is basically everything for my pest farming guide. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down below. But other than that, have a good one.